international relations, law schools, the question of, I'm willing to bet that half the law schools in the United States probably have a course that sounds something like international governance, and what they're talking about is the intersection of these kinds of issues. So there are, I see seeds of this developing.
So it's a great, you could imagine a profession called being a multi-stakeholderist. But I do think there's a, and this is I think partly to Jean's question and yours, Patrick, that I do think there's a unique set of skills. I just look at it from the civil society perspective. You know, there was a time in the United States when the skills that you needed to be a good public interest advocate were either legislative lobbying or litigation. Those were your two venues. That's where you, and maybe in a rare cases, you know, working in regulatory environments. But you were really being in either a kind of a narrow sense a lawyer, or or you were being kind of a you know, a sort of a PR sort of driven kind of lobbyist, which is fine and is a necessary set of skills. But this is a different set of skills. Building these kinds of coalitions across lots of different boundaries is and learning to be sensitive about how to talk about issues in ways that are not culturally stupid is a big requirement. And so yeah, I think people will have to learn how to do this. Absolutely.
Was there one more question? Do we have the microphone? This is going to be it, the finale, because otherwise I am the only thing standing between you and hearing from the chairman of the FCC.
Thanks. There was one question I guess I had, and Jean asked about sort of the education and outreach function and how do you do that effectively. And it seems to me an organization that has made that a central part of their mission is the Internet Society, and yes, they're not represented on the panel and nobody's mentioned them, but I wondered if anybody had any thoughts on their role in spreading the message and doing that outreach on a global scale.
I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a conversation we ought to have with Kathy Brown. Okay, well, I want to thank you all for your attention and focus. I want to thank our panelists for great presentations. I think we have just a few minutes to rearrange for preparation for the chairman. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
The deference question is really interesting.
Annual report, you'll see that we talk about boundary jumping. One fun thing about the lunch that people may not appreciate is it's a boundary jumping effort for Hogan Lovells, which in the audience today has partners from Paris, Washington, D.C., and here in Colorado. It is an international firm which has international connections to Silicon Flatiron.